for the side of MR, and On, Mazaha, and Corky band for the side of x25. Two ADCs are about to be picked for the side of MR so far, so I am assuming that this Ezreal could be jungle, could be mid lane as well. And guess what we're gonna see today, Gosa? We're gonna see Xin Zhao
Finally,
in action.
finally, I am able to see this. And there's something that we've been, kind of hovering about. Like, it's banned. It's never really picked, though. It's banned. No, it's picked. So we actually finally going to see it out. And also to join that, we're going to be seeing Israel. So
And the
I
Javan
just can't
again,
wait.
I don't know, man. The Javan has had way too many successes to be left open like this, but I don't know. Could maybe Xin Zhao contest him? Or
Um,
we will see.
he potentially can, but the problem comes in Jarvan in a team fight situation is just, well, Jarvan. It allows you to do so much, especially Talia. Are we finally going to see, the matchups we've been waiting for?
The mid
Because
laner of
Jarvan,
x25 is known for the Talia, so I think it's more of like a comfort pick. Maybe they are hiding some other picks, so they're throwing the Talia out there, so, he's pretty confident in that playing against everything, so that might be why we see it so we see mid laner so early. We are gonna see the Victor ban, which might be what they might be not so comfortable playing against.
Victor can counter a lot of team composition, especially when you have Xin and, Karma running around. So Victor's pretty, I think it's more like they didn't feel like playing against it. They didn't want to go into like, oh, we have to deal with this, so they kind of just got rid of him.
So
Ooh,
we do have the Tristana. They are probably going to be hitting towards the top lane and the ADC part from the part of MR, and on the other side we see that they are hitting more of their mid lane and maybe the support pool. We will see, because
well,
that's what's left for both teams. I'm really interested to see if that Ezreal is actually mid lane. You were talking about the Ezreal mid lane, so I'm interested to see if it's actually jungle or mid lane, and that
or
Javan
just
could be even top lane.
the potential there. It's kind of like, while they've removed Veigar, which kind of can suggest that Israel now, you know, could be going towards more of an AD carry role, especially you've banned out one of your own counters against Israel, so I don't think they're expecting him to go mid. So it could be the AD carry very well for there. But like you
The AD
mentioned
carry would
quite a
be
bit early
difficult
on,
because we have the Caitlyn coming in, so maybe you mean mid lane?
I mean, sorry, I meant in the mid lane. So it's definitely going to be, playing in the mid lane. And then I'm going to move on to say like Jarvan coming into the team fight. How do they respond? Pick somebody else who's going to help as much. But the Jin coming out.
So
Jin
we
versus
have a
Caitlyn.
Karma Jin against Caitlyn, and what? Logic here would say insta-lock Lulu. It's a very, very strong lane that takes towers super fast. Are they gonna opt to go with the Cho'Gath because it worked wonders for them in the previous game and is gonna get locked in? Let's see what they're gonna choose to put next to the Caitlyn right here.
As we're all, my eyes right now are focused on just to see what these last picks are going to be.
By the
Because
way, we
this
do
could
see that
make
the
or
Ezreal
break.
right here is a mid lane.
Yeah.
So we have cleared this out. You were right, talking about it the whole time. That Ezreal is going to be playing in the mid lane. Let's see what the support will be. Are we going to see a fish? Are we going to see Nami? We are.
Yay!
Yay,
We
that is
finally
going to
see.
be the first Nami we see in the tournament. And for the other side, it just makes sense. The Nahia makes
Nantu.
sense.
Nantu Cho'Gath, yeah. That does make sense. As long as you don't play like the last game, we kind of saw like you have to punish Cho'Gath earlier on.
Again, here the problem I see on the side of x25 is that there is no real engage. Like, yeah, okay, you can throw the Zin in there, but other than that, what can you follow up with? Like, maybe the Nav from a flags. Like, there is a lot of maybes, while on the other side for MR, you have again the Cataclysm, and now you have the Wave from Nami, which the Wave could work as disengage as well. So again, MR have both of them in their pocket. They have the engage and the disengage really well into their team comp, and we might see here again x25 struggling like Pau struggled in the previous game for the same exact reasons. There is no engage, and these guys have disengage to negate whatever sort of way you
Basically
have to get
everything.
into there, exactly, and then they can get back on you and engage.
Well, like Zin is a very powerful pick, but Zin has to leap to the opponents, get to the opponents first. And with,
Hmm.
Cho'Gath has a knock-up, Nami has bubbles, she has her ultimate, Jarvan can, surround people, also knock them up. Caitlyn traps, Israel damage. It's going to be hard to get onto them or get in the front line, especially and try get into that. And they don't, like you said, there's not too much engage going on right there.
Hmm.
Unless Talia manages to knock somebody into them, there's not too much that's going to be going in their favor. But with Zin, with the Karma, Jin, Na, you got a strong early game. So if you want to get ahead, the early game's going to be going to try and get it off there, especially against, I have to say, Israel's very squishy early on. So if
Hmm.
you can get the Zin onto Israel, it's going to be very strong.
Again, though, you talked about the Talia being able to throw somebody back. On big team fights, you would expect the Jarvan or the Cho'Gath to be in the front line. So, how in the world will it be possible for that Talia to get somebody back? It is going to be very, very interesting to see here.
I know, definitely.
So, what do you think about? Let's say that the early game goes smooth, which I'm not going to believe. I'm going to say that it's not going to go smooth, but let's take in consideration that the mid game and early game goes smooth. What do we expect to see in the late game from the perspective of the champions that the teams have chosen? Do you see potential in both of them, and do you see the same power in both of the comps?
I don't. I see a lot of like favoritism going towards
Mm-hmm.
MR just because of the Jarvan, because of the Nami, because of the strong engage and disengage competition going up against, a strong team,
Mm-hmm.
but team fight wise, they're not as strong. So I'm gonna have to give it to MR for this one.
Okay, so do you give the late game or in general the game towards
The
the
late
MR
game towards them.
composition? Okay.
The game, I'm not so sure. It depends how the early game goes. But okay, I'm gonna give it to MI as well with the team comp.
So, you know what comes after the late game, right? You knew that question was coming, but before I go ahead and ask you that question, I'm gonna say to the people who watch us that they have one more chance only, unfortunately, to get their hands on that 5,000 euros prize pool. And all you have to do is go to the chat and type exclamation mark qualifiers. That will take you to the next available qualifier, which is the last one as well, and that is tomorrow. So you have a chance to take your team, join the qualifier, and maybe be one of the lucky teams that get a ticket out of our open qualifiers and face our 4 invited teams. And out of all these mix and match, only 3 teams are gonna come out alive to go to the LAN final event, where one team, which is going to be a wild card from that country where the event is held in, is going to be joining the other teams on the LAN finals. So get on these, get on that exclamation mark qualifiers, click the link, and get going. Grab your team, grab your friends, and you never know. You could be one of the lucky ones that goes into the LAN final event. And of course, let's inform them about our giveaway. There is a beautiful and super comfortable chair for gamers
I totally
designed
want that.
exactly designed by gamers for everyone, even if you're not a gamer. Just go and do exclamation mark giveaway in the chat, and that will take you straight to the link that you need to click some stuff, and there are some steps, and then you can get even more chances at winning this share. And even if you don't win this share, there are a lot of vouchers with euros that you can win for the ESL shop. So it is really worth it. And here comes my question to you. Who do you
No way, hello
think
there.
is going to be taking the early game advantage?
Early game advantage. Gonna have to give it to X22. Just the Zin, the Karma, there's a lot of poke on there, and then you got the Gnar to top it off, especially going into the Cho'Gath matchup. I'm gonna have to definitely give them the early game, but the game depends on that early game. If they're not gonna get that, then I'm gonna stick by saying X22 early game, MR for the game.
So what's weird to see right here is that the Nami is opting to go for that Ignite. So they are targeting, they know who's going to be jumping in. It's either going to be the Na or it's either going to be the Xin Zhao. There's no way any other member of X25 is going to be jumping into the members of MR. So if that person gets ignited and bursted down instantly, what does X25 have left to defend the other 4 members? And how do they reply to this death with an actual kill back?
The problem is it depends who jumps in. Like Zin is still he's squishy. So like if he jumps in, Cho'Gath knocks him up, and there comes Nami, the heals and that. You can't really re-engage once you lose somebody.
That ultimate though of his, pretty spicy that people can't hit him outside of that radius he creates with his ultimate. That could be why we have not been seeing the Xin Zhao. That might be why, because the only person who actually wants to be in that radius when the ultimate is popped is maybe the Jarvan and the Cho'Gath, who can actually withstand that burst that he has, along, of course, with his backline. And then the Na could be jumping in, and then you have so many seals from the Karma. On the other side, like we talked before, MR has so much disengage potential that when the Xin ultimate gets popped, they're just going to disengage away from it and say, okay, wait till it's done, and then we can re-engage and pop the Cataclysm right there and then re-engage.
Well, we're going to have to see how they're going to play out the early game, if there's going to be any invades to try and take advantage of that early game. So I'm just moving around in my seat. I can't wait to start seeing the action.
Well, we hope we have a very explosive final like we've had the past 2 times. The teams are actually in loading screens, so we can't actually wait to show you.
Literally can't actually wait. I'm shivering just waiting. I can't wait to see just this is how somebody plays Zin. I managed to get a few games in and just see how strong he is, and he's pretty strong. Especially with the new masteries.
Alright then,
we're gonna have to wait and see.
You heard it here from Ghost. Guys, Xin Zhao is pretty strong. Get on that solo queue, spam Xin Zhao in the case where he's not banned. If he's not always banned. Yeah. Next to Yasao and Darius. I've actually never seen Darius being banned. In my games, at least.
I ban him in all my games, or the enemy team always bans him. I don't know why, but every game I'm in, he's banned permanently, like a 99%.
For my platinum position, I'm gonna declare that I see a lot of Z bans, Katarina bans that make me really sad because I can't play my champion, and all around like Malzahar, Ryze bans. Ezreal is like always permabanned. I think Ezreal has been permabanned in our tournament also, and this is the first time we get to see. No, this is the first time we get to see him after we saw him literally wreck teams on our first qualifier last Saturday. So we have moved into our game, and there is going to be that very, very quick modification that you guys love. So hold on tight for that one.
All eyes on Zin.
All eyes on Zin.
Oh, and, the Gnar.
Anyone else?
The whole team. Maybe, Nami, Cho'Gath, Jarvan. Especially Jarvan.
Okay, we do have a slight pause here. So we're slowly but surely going to be moving into a game. There we go. We are back at it.
Right to the action.
Well, we are faced with a little client freeze, which is very welcoming every time in the game. It gives us like a couple of seconds to catch our breaths, Like that client is definitely working for us.
I don't know. It's I think it's just like a shake-up. Like, okay, you guys are love. Are you breathing? Take a breather. It's gonna be one action-packed game.
Okay, so definitely that Ezreal is going to be most likely AD. I mean, I haven't seen any AP Ezreal so far, but you never know. And both teams are gonna be playing in that belt style defense. They're just gonna be covering basically the I'm losing my words and we haven't even started. They're basically gonna be covering all the entrances and the exits of their own jungles.
Oh, it's just a vision game. This band of visions. You just get to know where everybody is in the map. Just to make sure, you know, nothing funky happens.
Alright, so we had a little tiny pause, which is going again. I want to see if we're going to have any cheeky wards put it into the jungle like we've had with the previous games. I think it's a must to be able to see where the enemy's jungler, when the enemy jungler's path is going.
Well, especially when you have Xin and Jarvan on the map. You want to know exactly where they are. You don't want to have any surprises jump up on you.
So we see a little death push here. Well, a tiny death push by Nami and Caitlyn, and a little tiny client freeze, which, if I'm honest, it's done it a lot. That Nami is very, very far pushed, but now they're going to see it. And we're going to be exchanging quite a bit of damage, and it's just at the start. Xin is going to be starting from his red buff, same as Jarvan, also from his red buff. Alright then. So, I'm really expecting to see a lot of heavy ganks towards bot lane, but Xin Zhao started from the red buff going towards the bot lane. The bubble is not gonna land on the Jhin. There's a lot of damage going back and forth. That Caitlyn Nami lane is hurting a lot. Javan is in the mid lane right now. There is going to be a little gank on the Talia in the mid lane. They have spotted maybe the Xin Zhao. They know his bot lane. He started from the red buff. So the bot lane of MR must know that the Xin Zhao is coming for them in the bot lane. Heal did get popped by the Talia in the mid though.
He's very squishy without any summoners like that.
Karma is going to be engaging. The bind is going to be landing by the Jhin, and is just the typical back and forth that you get. Xin Zhao is invading the Wraiths of MR right now, and exactly mirroring what he does is the Jarvan on the other side. So we haven't seen a lot of ganks so far, except the one in the mid lane, but now the Xin Zhao is very, very dangerously going towards the bot lane of MR. This smells blood right here. Ignite is going to be popped down. Bind is going to land on the Caitlyn as well as the Q. The Xin Zhao is right there, and we have a client freeze, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be first blood for the Jhin. And whoops, there we go. I'm gonna swap the Caitlyn as well, back up there with the Jhin. And the Xin Zhao so far is seeming to be much more dangerous than the Javan. Saying that, the Javan is heading up there to be able to kill the Na. Flag and Drag is going to land, and Na is going to flash away. Both of them have flashes. Is any of them going to do? No. They're going to leave the flashless Na run away. They're going to keep their flashes, and hopefully we're going to see them come back and back up this gank and get even more out of him, because now he's most likely going to have to use the TP, which he does right now. There is a pause that's going to be called, but we see that the Gnar has used his TP as well, which means that with a repeated successful gank from the Javan, that could result in a really, really bad lane for the Gnar. Using your TP and your flash and dying after that can result in almost an instant lost lane. I think we have lost Ghost.
I'm around. Sorry. I'm just busy looking at a few things.
Alright then, so the game will be resumed. And apart from that first blood, we've had only action in the mid lane and the top lane for the side of MR. The Jarvan has just walked through a ward, so he has been spotted that he's going towards the blue side jungle of his. And that Ezreal is bringing a lot of trouble to the Talia so far. On the other side, we do see that the Gnar is quite far from the Cho'Gath where it comes to CS. The other lanes are pretty much dead even though, except the mid lane, which the Ezreal is about 5 to 6 CS ahead. Not too much though. Now has to be careful in the top lane for a repetitive gank from the Jarvan. This would, like we said before, literally ruin his lane. Bind is gonna land. Ares doing quite a bit of damage with the kit of the Jhin. And we see here that the Gnar is playing very aggressive. He has words around. So it is pretty safe the way he's playing. They have spotted that the Karma has placed a pink ward right there. Slight freeze from the player. Gnar on the wall for the Cho'Gath. And I think we're going to have a lot of harass from the Gnar, but there's no flash there to back it up. Jarvan is going bot lane, but the bot lane of x25 is going to back off nicely with the Karma shields. Cho'Gath is not yet 6, so that could be a problem, but also the Gnar has no flash to be able to dive. Xin Zhao is in the bot lane again, so we could see more action right here. There is a word in that second bush he's gonna walk in, so there is trouble because they have seen him and he's actually wasting his time right there. Nom 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 going down in the top lane by the Cho'Gath, stacking up that ultimate and that HP. And Xin Zhao is still in that bot lane. Mid lane is having a lot of trouble with the CS, with 62 on the Ezreal versus 47 for the Talia. And she got interrupted, almost died in the mid lane. Without popping heal, things are getting dangerous in the mid lane. Fortunately, she does have both of her summoners still up though. And that flash on the Gnar is coming back up pretty soon. Talking about now, he's going to be engaging that Cho'Gath who doesn't have a lot of health or mana left. On the other hand, the bind is going to be landing from the Karma and the Jhin in the bot lane, but they're not going to follow that. They knew that the Jarvan was on his way from the river. I am not sure why they didn't follow that. They could have very easily killed the Nami right there. Jhin had 2 more shots into his pocket, and the last one crits a lot. So maybe they got scared of some sort of TP, but again, Cho'Gath didn't have TP there as well. So, like I was saying, Jarvan should have maybe focused a little bit more in that top lane where the Gnar was flashless and without TP. You completely put his Cho'Gath ahead. I'm pretty sure the Cho'Gath can do fine on his own as well, like he is right now. The Talia is going to be engaged. Flag and Drag is going to be landing. He has Cataclysm as well. He's going to go down. Talia goes down with the Cataclysm, and 1 kill for the Jarvan in return for a Ma. And let's see what x25 can reply with on that kill. And the answer right now on the map is probably nothing. There is so much vision for the side of MR in the rivers that it's really hard if they want to do something. The bubble is not going to land for MR, and the Nami is going to flash the bind of the Jhin, and there's going to be a peaceful disengager there. Well, saying peaceful, Nami did use her flash right there, but there were no deaths included. I want to see where Jarvan is going to go after this back. He's going to opt to go towards the bot lane. Both the ADC and the support for x25 have their flashes. And now we might be seeing a 4-man dive in the bot lane for x25. They both jump down. That's a 4-man dive. That's about to happen right there. Taliyah Wall is going to go down. They have their eye onto the Nami. The bind is going to land. The damage is going to land. Nami is gone. And now they've turned onto that Javan. Beautiful knock-up right there by the Taliyah. They get the Javan down as well. And the 1v1 in the top lane is going on to. You don't want to be getting close to that Cho'Gath anytime soon. Beautiful slow right there by the Nether Knight. Is going to be going very, very close. Beautiful flash right there by the Cho'Gath to get away from that Q and most likely saving his life. There is a lot of action everywhere on the map right now. That Ezreal is going to be shifting into the Taliyah. Ooh, and instantly flashing out. Not sure if that was an miscommunication right there from the team. But it looked like the Caitlyn could not follow up with the damage, which was very weird. Okay, Cho'Gath TP is going to be coming down. He doesn't want this wave to be hitting his tower. Now he's doing much better than we saw him last game. He is actually ahead in CS compared to the last now that we saw versus the Cho'Gath. But then again, we saw Emma not caring that much about the Cho'Gath. They kind of leave him in his fate. I mean, they say he's gonna scale anyway. We see the Cho'Gath backing up again. That might have been again a miscommunication on the swap, but he's actually gonna stay because he gets interrupted by the Na. This is gonna cost them a lot of minions in the bot lane, while the Ezreal is harassing the Taliyah quite heavily. Now they're gonna engage onto that Na, flash out of the Cataclysm and the ultimate from the Nami pop. So 2 ultimates for a flash. Heal popped in the mid lane. That Taliyah is having a lot of trouble in the mid lane by that Ezreal. 40 CS ahead for that Ezreal. Gladly it's been made up by the Na in the top lane with 30 CS ahead of the Cho'Gath. We have first blood in the bot lane for x25, which means we are very shortly going to see probably a lane swap as well. Or do they have their eyes on that dragon? No, they're gonna go straight into the mid lane and push that wave out. Taliyah is heading towards the top lane, which is all of it almost warded. Looking for a cheeky gank right there, but it didn't happen. So she's gonna be heading straight back to the lane. And compared to our previous games, we've only had 4 kills in 12 minutes. It has been our lowest kill game so far, but it's very methodical by both teams, which is what we see generally transitioning from best of 1s to best of 3s. We see teams going really aggressive heavy in the best of 1s, which is most likely that if you make a mistake, you could completely lose your chance at this qualifier. But then in the best of 3s, where if you lose the first game, you have another chance, we see them again play more methodically. They just want that 2-0 clean sweep, both teams. That Ezreal is getting in very, very scary territory. Muramana has been complete for that Ezreal, as well as the sheen on him, and he hurts so much at this point. I mean, we see that instead of leaving the Ezreal versus the Taliyah, they have actually left the Caitlyn against Taliyah. Xin Zhao is really close though, and let's see if any abilities are going to land. The Q doesn't land from the Karma, neither does the bind from the Xin. Ezreal is a very slippery fish, and of course with the help of Nami even more. Javan is gonna be lurking around, and Taliyah is moving towards the mid lane. Is there going to be a dive? Nah, onto the Cho'Gath, and we're gonna see a 1v1 between the top laners. Cho'Gath is gonna opt to disengage, even though his team is coming down for him. So we see Taliyah is gonna be moving down in the top lane. Up in the top lane again. And they are pinging that this Javan is right there. Poke is gonna land in the mid lane onto that Ezreal Karma. I'm sorry, Nami's right there to heal it back up like it never happened. And this time we do see what we were talking about last game. Last game we were talking about how that Na was not very far ahead from the Cho'Gath, but here we see 40 CS ahead. Javan is trying to catch that Kama, but Kama is going to try to bind him back, and there's going to be again a disengage because the Xin Zhao was coming from a flank, but now the Xin Zhao is in kind of the wrong territory towards his teammate the Na, and quite a bit of damage taken there by the Na, assuming that 4 members of Emma are heading towards that bot lane. And again, it's gonna be the laners backing off and going again. So far, there isn't much difference. There is about 2k ahead in the pockets of x25, but the biggest difference is that there's 3 kills in the pocket of the Jhin for their bot lane, whilst on the other side there's 50 CS difference between the Ezreal and the Taliyah. The Taliyah has been really struggling into the mid lane. And that Ezreal is just about to get the blue buff, and it's gonna get oh so painful. So indeed, right here, the blue buff is going to be going the way of Ezreal. The problem with putting that Taliyah in the top lane, though, is that you can't only be in the top lane where you can't take advantage of that blue buff. That dragon is up, and it might be going down right now just to get rid of the air drake. They want something better, and it is what's going to be happening. They are going to be taking this objective, and there's no reply yet for MR objective-wise. Are we going to see a fight in the mid lane? Xin is trying to flank from the side of the river. It's not really what's going to happen. Another Nai is going to land onto the Cho'Gath. It seems like the Nai is just using this to be able to kind of duel the Cho'Gath and kind of push him away from lane, not necessarily kill him, which gives the advantage a lot to Na. Now we see the Cho'Gath is going to be backing off, and he might be having to teleport back to this tower to be able to save it. He's gonna opt to stay though. Emma knows that Xin is lurking around, and they are throwing Trucer Barrage in the mid lane to clear that wave. Nami has been called to aid to heal some of that HP that the Na has chunked away from the Cho'Gath. He's just gonna push one more wave before he has to back, pretty much. But the Ezreal is doing work in the top lane against the Taliyah. We've talked again and again how much Taliyah is struggling. And oh my god, it's 60 CS behind. Cataclysm's gonna be going down, flash away, instant from the Jhin. The Karma is trapped in there. The wave is gonna go down by the Nami, catching nobody. And now the Cho'Gath is chasing the Na in return, but x25 is heading downwards to try and help the Na. He's gonna be eaten alive. First shot is gonna land, second shot is gonna land, third shot is gonna land, fourth shot is going to land, but that Cho'Gath is not going down. Taliyah wave beautifully put there to stop Emma from sieging the mid lane tower so she can have some backup to her lane. Oh my god, she's just gonna get popped. That damage from Ezreal is just purely disgusting. She just went down with heal and flash. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why you pick or ban Ezreal. He is the highest win rate champion right now in League of Legends. A lot call him commonly a broken champion, let's say, and right here he's proven pretty much why he's such a big win potential in the team. He is so much CS ahead, just put a kill into the pocket. Mana Moon is completed 18 minutes in, and he just also completed the Trinity Force, most likely gonna be going towards that Blade of the Ruined King, which is gonna make his life much easier against that Na. x25 is not gonna be able to take that mid lane tower, even though they've left it so low. And the chase begins. They're not gonna opt to go for this one because their ADC was back in the base. Very wise move right there from MR. And gold is once again dead even. Ezreal is going to be playing in the front line. Q is going to land one more shot. Jin is being caught by the wave right there and down to the Ezreal. Xin Zhao is going to be going in. We have instantly the heal right there from the Ezreal. Bubble down and double kill for the Ezreal. 3, 0, and 1. And this is going to be tier 2 mid lane tower for MR. Doing it how it's meant to be done, showing why that Ezreal is such a contested pick right now. Talia is going to be left in that top lane, at least an exchange 1-for-1 towers. See, he's gonna be backing off onto a ward, so she might have to use the waves. He's gonna be picked right there by the Ezreal. The Javan is on the other side, so he's in deep trouble right here. Caitlyn ultimate is gonna be going down, and Ezreal is the one who claims the kill in the end.
It's a very close game so far, and why hello there, I am back.
Well, hello there.
That took a bit of a time, but as we're saying, took a bit of time. These teams are extremely close, even in this game. It is 20 minutes now, so just look at the Cho'Gath's HP right there.
Cho'Gath has been caught right there. The knockup is going to land on the Zinza, but I don't think he has much to do right there than to die. He's gonna go down to that Zinza. Really good pick right there, but the Ezreal is playing again in that front line. Curtain Call is gonna be open and it's going to hit the Ezreal and shut down for the Zinza. The Nari is on the side, the Javan is ignited. Zinza is gonna be charging in the bind, is going to land from the Karma, and the Javan is dead to right also. I don't know what MR are doing there. The bind is gonna land on the Caitlyn as well. Killing spree for the Zinza, 3-0-3. Well, I was talking about the Ezreal before, but we have seen that the Zinzao has been banned for a reason. 4-for-1 there for x25, and they might be starting the Baron. The now teleport has been called down, and the Cho'Gath with the Nami are on the way. That
Yeah, but they're going to be
Baron,
a bit
though,
too late to this
oh
one, it
my god,
seems.
it's going down so fast.
And that's another reason why a lot of people don't like Xin Zhao does a lot of damage, especially as a jungler. And to one target, especially Baron, does a lot of damage. But you can see both of them actually
The
caught in the
Zinzao
pit there with a
doesn't have
knockup.
flash right here, so he is gonna have to either fight or die, and he's got what's gonna happen. He's gonna fight and die at the same time. Nom 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 comes down by the Cho'Gath, and he ends up in his belly somehow.
Fight or flight, fight or get eaten. It seems like there is Cho'Gath did so much damage to him. As you were just talking about earlier on, I was watching, and you see Ezreal's damage is out of this world, but really followed up not by much in some of the engagement that he's been in. He's been able to do a lot of poke, and his ultimate's been gets a lot of pickups. But when it comes down to a team fight, he's ultimately in the front line and extremely squishy. And here we see him just, you know, helping out the dragon, not doing too much. They got the nice objective right there.
Trading at
And
least
they're gonna be-
whatever is left in the map, and we do see that Ezreal is just keeping on playing front line. There is a front line Ezreal out there. He is not scared of that Zinzao engage, of that not engage. He's literally just chasing members of x25 away, and we do see the first component for Blade being completed, so he is indeed going towards that build. I mean, that is the most famous build for a couple of seasons now, ever since it was
It's-
introduced. And did he steal the blue buff right there?
I think he just did, yes.
He did. He does have the blue buff.
Well, that's one thing with the Ezreal ultimate. Like, not only does he dish out so much damage
No,
just with
the
his Qs
Zinzao
and
took it.
abilities.
The Zinzao
I
indeed
cannot
took
see.
the blue buff, yeah. He has the freshest
There
buff
we
on
go.
him, so that's his.
But you see look at the siege happening in mid as Caitlyn set up, you know, a whole trench of traps right there by the tower to try and prevent, you know, the Baron buff really taking an effect in the siege.
Zinzao is waiting on the side, so whoever walks in there might be in a little bit of trouble. Pink ward is gonna go down just in case somebody wanted to sneak in there, and the second that Ezreal gets there, everybody has to move away.
Also, they're just letting the Gnar, you know, continue to push out the spot lane, especially with the Baron buff now. But he is greeted by a very loud hello from, you know, the team as he just hops away a little bit to safety.
And that is the problem that we posed before. Right now, x25 is 3k in the lead, but it seems like they are matched by a mouse. Cataclysm is gonna go down on the Kama, and the Kama is gonna flash away. Righteous Glory popped by the Cho'Gath. I think he's gonna be joining the fight. That Xin Zhao is left for dead behind because of Talia, and the Na were not there. That Na does not have teleport, and the Cho'Gath ran all the way from bot lane to join that fight. But that was 1 kill for 1 tower for x25. I would take that trade anytime.
Well, like, now that's just opened up. Like, now that they've finally got the first, line of defense broken there, the bot lane, it's going to have to force somebody to continuously be pushing out and checking that lane just to make sure nobody tries to get the inhibitor. But, like you said, the mid tower is very important in this game. So I would not be surprised if that's one of their next objectives, is to try and push out the mid.
Alright, so I was a little bit distracted there, let's say. I am just very keen on seeing about the next team fight. We do see the Javan going towards Warmorks. He's not really going very aggressive. He's more like a tank.
I think it's not a bad decision. They do kind of need somebody else to be. You can't always just rely on Cho'Gath to be, oh, we have one solid tank. You also want to be a little bit tanky, especially on the person who's going to be engaging a lot of the time. It's not a bad pickup, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Especially, Na does kind of shred tanks. So, I mean, not Na.
The wave is going to go down, but it's going to completely miss. Flash away by the Xin Zhao. They do have that Xin Zhao in their sights. Like we said, he is going to be the only one jumping in. So the second that happens, you see instantly they disengage or they just jump on him. So they have plenty of choices to make when it comes to that. But then, who stops the Na from split pushing if you have to join with your Cho'Gath? Then Xin Zhao is going to be getting greeted right there by the Javan. Flag and Drag is not going to land because of the bind from the Jhin, and he's going to be going down to the Talia, whilst in the bot lane, the Na is 1v1 in the Cho'Gath very effectively.
No,
Xin Zhao is going to be getting caught into the bubble right here and popped literally by the Ezreal. Redemption going down to heal the members of Emma, and that Ezreal is going again into the front line. Maybe too far right there, going down to the Jhin, I'm sorry, and here is where the chase begins. Flash with the Talia, flash away by the Caitlyn, and they are chasing the only 2 members surviving. Here comes the Cho'Gath, nom going down the Talia, but she is not dead yet. She's gonna go down to the Cho'Gath at last. And now they are onto that big beast. Goes down to the Na. Na continues chasing that Nami. Killing spree for the Jhin, taking down the Caitlyn. What is going on? Javan's going to be jumping in with the cannons, but he's going to get caught in between 3 members of X25. He's going to be flashing away.
Well, you're talking about the tankiness. The complete turnaround. Just right there. It's like, Cho'Gath, okay, he's very tanky, but he was kind of caught off guard there, like the amount of damage that was just being dished out. But also, same can be said about Ezreal. The last thing you want, he's doing a lot of the damage, and the last thing you want is him going down or being caught off in the front lines, especially when you have, Nami to try and protect, especially Jarvan and Cho'Gath. Ezreal shouldn't really be in the front lines.
Well, he did pay for that move that he did, that very ballsy move, let's say. Diving basically into 2 carries of X25 and a Karma, which that shield can really make you think that you can kill somebody, but when the shield gets popped, you're like, oh no, what have I put myself into, So there is going to be Baron spawning in 15 seconds time. And there are 1 member in each team who are deadly right now. Ezreal in the mid lane with 6-2 and 2 for MR. And Jhin as ADC for X25 with 6-1 and 5.
You see them just using the range of Jhin to the advantage, where you can kind of get a little bit of vision and, poke out just to see where the enemy is. And here comes the usual vision control. You see pre the Baron fight, it's got to catch off Karma.
Oh boy.
Pop goes the Karma.
7 and 2. Teleport in the base by the Na. He is going for that inhibitor.
Look at the
Okay.
damage that's coming out here, and they're going to continue to
Baron's
do
gonna go
Baron. He is going to trust.
securely. Baron's gonna
Yeah,
go
there's-
securely to the side of MR. And they are gonna be cutting that Zin off guard. Talia is being caught on the side. Catalan's gonna go down on the Zin Zhao, and Talia is gonna be going down at the same time to the Ezreal. But for what cost? That middle inhibitor has gone down. Right now,
Nas
has
staying
to back.
around
He has to
a
back
little,
right now.
little bit too long, but this is definitely the time. He's got the objective. He should be getting back. He knows that the enemy is going to be there, and that was just Israel managed to catch a lot of free damage onto just Jin trying to poke around right there. So it was kind of an awkward fight, especially with Talia around there.
Cho'Gath right there is very ahead of his team. He's gonna be getting caught by the Karma and the Jin, but he's gonna be turning it around since his team has just arrived. Flag and drag, and the Karma goes down to the Caitlyn. A little bit too far, but never too far for Cho'Gath because she never dies, unlike the Jarvan, who just goes down by stepping too far forward. The Ezreal wants blood right there. I'm not sure who he's thinking of being able to catch. The Knight is going to be the first one that he sees on his side. And look at that damage going down onto the tank. Zinza is going to be jumping onto that Ezreal. He gets popped by the knockoff of the Talia. Now Emma have to run away. Curtain call is going to be popped, but I'm pretty sure the Cho'Gath is going to be covering most of these shots. Bubble going to go down on the Talia, and the chase continues apparently. They're going to just call it off.
Well, Cho'Gath's a pretty big target, so I suppose he is going to soak up a lot of damage. But that was quite a strong turnaround there right by the base. Cho'Gath did bite off a lot more than he thought he could handle, but just look at the regen. That's going to keep him back in this fight as they just run around the
Cho'Gath is going
jungle.
to be
But here
getting caught
comes
all on
Zin.
his own again, and he's going to be going down to the Zin.
This time, he pays the price. This is where, like,
little bit of an
our tank's
overextend
a bit
right
gone.
there. Jarvan is going to be joining the fight again, going onto a 1v1. Catalan is going to be going down onto the Xin Zhao, and a beautiful wave right there from the Talia to separate R from the Jarvan. Redemption just went down, just in case things went so for that Jarvan. And look at all that vision that x25 have around the base of MR.
Oh no, you have that. Like that's right there is a lot of potential in terms of you have teleport up now on the Gnar, while going up soon on the Gnar. So you can start to be like, well, you guys can't leave your base undefended, and you can't not push out these lanes, especially you see in the bot lane that big wave there that was building up. So Gnar's definitely going to be looking to try and make some plays over that, but the vision itself helps to tell where they're going and what objectives they're taking, because now you see, they could be setting up, trying to push down the top tower instead of mid, or you can see them going, but look at the damage from Israel.
No, he's not
This
scared of that
damage is
Ezreal.
unreal.
Jarvan is going to be jumping in. The bind is going to land that Ezreal. Shift straight into there, almost losing his own life for it. Oh my god, that Ezreal is playing aggressive.
He does have his ultimate up. The question is he going to use it really to try and find a pick onto
Tristan
Gnar?
Baraz, I think, has left, but he went straight down mid lane, and now he's not right there to get caught by it. No, it does not
Yeah,
have...
it's just going to be clearing that wave.
No, it does not have TP though. So just in case a fight breaks here, he's not going to be able to join, whilst Ezreal just left his base again.
Well, that's like, these fights are going to be determined by a lot of 4v5, who's caught off guard. Because if you look now, they have to have somebody continuously, trying to push out mid to avoid, trying to take more. But you also have to keep somebody away from top and bottom, because these waves are going to
the Ezreal's going to be getting caught here by the bind. He's going to have to flush away and heal. I'm sorry, shift away and heal. And the Jarvan has caught the Gnar in the mid lane. He's going to hop, skip, and jump away, but he is into the cataclysm right now. Talia is going to be joining beautiful Gnar onto the wall. And oh my god, the Caitlyn just went down. The Jarvan is trying to escape. That Cho'Gath is never going down because he is so tanky. But is he too tanky for 3 members of X25? He's going to be pushed back by the Talia. Unstoppable Jin getting the Jarvan down, and that Cho'Gath is going to be going down as well. Slowly but surely. The
Caught out
only
once
two
again.
to defend are the Nami and the Ezreal. Is it
Like,
enough?
Really, there's not too much you can do as an Israel against, multiple people, because he's just used his ultimate now to clear the top lane to avoid, them just continuously pushing this tower out or getting another objective. So that was very smart play from him, but can it really delay? It should be enough to get the full team up, but Cho'Gath's still 25 seconds away, so there's not too much that can really happen in this time. You know, get back, get a little bit stronger, get your health back, and prepare for the next team fight, which they seem to be sieging very slowly but surely.
We do have an Infernal coming up in 35 seconds, which could mean that whichever team takes that can fight for a chance on that Baron that is coming up in just 1 minute and 40 seconds. So let's see if the teams are going to fight around it. Cho'Gath is going to walk again into that team fight, same as now. The top laners don't want to be spending their TPs for the dragon. They might want to spend them for the actual Baron that's about to spawn in a minute and 20 seconds.
Without those teleports, a lot can go wrong. If you get caught up positioning and you're late to a team fight or something, you are the main, tanks and engagers almost to a point. So if you're not there, your team's definitely gonna lose. Look at that
You did
damage
half
Israel.
damage. Infernal is definitely going to be going down for the side of x25. 3 dragons into the belt. That Elder Drake that's about to spawn is going to hurt if it goes their way. But first, we have to see where that Baron is going to go in 50 seconds. And Emma have their eyes down the mid lane. But look at that huge wave knocking on the top tower.
Narc could actually teleport to that once the moment they see him
is
in
going to
the
be
mid.
going down onto that Jhin. They want him dead. Caitlyn ulti is going to be landing on him, but it's not going to be killing him. The Talia has been caught by the ESL and he's going to be going down. The Cho'Gath is tanking the whole backline of x25. Inhibitor tower is going to be going down for the favor of MR and Inhibitor tower, and now they have their eyes on that Baron. 20 seconds for the Baron to spawn and 40 seconds for the Talia. But that Na is doing walk down in the bot lane.
The moment you see that Gnar, the moment you see them starting to run out the base, you can't really go for a Baron because you are going to lose a lot of your base. But you see they haven't managed to catch Gnar a little bit, but he is quite fast, and now they are pressuring around the Baron area. So there's not so much that's going to, they're not going to start it because that could lead to a bit of a 3v2 fight now, especially with Israel having to run away. Jarvan is going to get caught off guard just quite a little bit, but does get over the wall. But Cho'Gath now is left to face Gnar in the spot lane.
That was the best possible trade right there for x25 since they lost their inhibitor. Their only chance was to get a respective objective on their side, which is what happened. Inhibitor, of course, is no match for a tower. Inhibitor is much more, as they say, worth for the team of MR. And right now, x25 have the vision around the Baron, and that Jarvan is in the wrong territory, surrounded all by x25 players. He's gonna drag and flag around the Baron pit, and the second he dies, that second the Baron starts.
That's just going to signal it right there. It's just to, try and engage, get the Baron, because they're like, oh, wow, he's caught off guard, jungler's down, Baron's going to be going down, and they're going to be taking it. So there's no trades happening this time. They're not able to push up mid to really get there, but the inhibitor is still down, but it should be respawning relatively soon.
I am not sure what the Jarvan was doing right there without the help of his team. I mean, we just said that that whole Baron River was filled with x25 wards. What is your jungler, who is the most important player?
Those fights, yes.
Exactly, because he has the smite. What is your jungler doing there all alone? Righteous Glow is going to be popped. They're trying to cast the Xin. He's way too fast. Guess what, boys? Zinza is one of the fastest players in League of Legends, and with 2 air drakes with his boots, well,
Unless you hacker him.
unless you hacker him, exactly.
But just moving on, you see, look at them going all over the map. Minar's just going to continue to push out the bottom there. You've got 2 exposed inhibitors, and if there's anybody that's going to be chunking them down, it is going to be the Gnar, because he is able to really just, keep up with the Cho'Gath in the bot lane. So they're going to be able to force, 2 people down there at most if they want to defend this inhibitor. But that also allows a lot of space in the mid.
Let's see where they're gonna opt to go. Na lands on the Cho'Gath, the bind lands, the whole x25 lands onto the Cho'Gath, and he is finally gonna be going down. That took a while, but now there are 5 Baron Dart members of x25 and knocking on MR's inhibitor door. First inhibitor tower is gonna go down, and now they have turned their eyes onto the mid lane inhibitor, which is also going to go down.
And that's perfect. That's you got your two objectives. Let's reset and get back. You see now just dropping a bit of a flash, getting out of there,
Flashed
hopping away.
away right there. Straight
No
away.
delay on that one.
You don't want to be getting caught when you have that match advantage right now. Flag and Dragons is again not going to land by the Jarvan onto the Na, and we might see a game right here where that Ezreal that's 10 and 3 and 100 CS ahead might not be winning.
Well, this could go either way. It depends who comes out on top of the next team fight. That's why
I mean,
they're playing this
11k ahead.
Exactly. It's like it kind of comes down to it is 40 minutes in about. So the team fights are getting there's a lot more pressure on them. So like if you lose this team fight, well, you know what, you're not going to be able to come back into this. So they are playing a little bit more carefully than you'd normally see in the early game. So it's very interesting to see what their next move is going to be as they're starting to run down mid, push out the wave. Let's get this wave shoving back in. They have got, 2 inhibitors down, so they do have the advantage. So they've got a lot more freedom, and, they can take a breath right now and go, okay, well, we're ahead, we've got the objectives. Let's just think this through in the next team fight.
Let's see where they're going to choose to break exactly this next team fight. Will it be the top lane, or are they going to go straight for these next towers?
Well, the way it's been going, Cho'Gath's been one of their ways into like team fights and pushing objectives. As they catch him off guard, and there goes a lot of their tank and a lot of their I wouldn't say engage potential, but like disengage potential. So their front line is gone, and then there's not much they can really do. Ezreal's extremely squishy.
It's basically most of their front line. Even though, like you said, Ezreal has been playing front line. He's not really the guy you want right there tanking
Not the guy
the
you
damage.
want playing the front line, but he does have the damage on the front line. It's kind of a weird situation where you want him on the front line dealing the damage, but you also don't want him going down
He's
on
going
the
to be
front line.
engaging on the Jarvan. The Jarvan's going to be putting the Gatlings down, and he's going to be gone. Killing spree for the Xin. 11 and 2. Talia Wall is going to be going down to separate the MR team apart, and Xin is going to be re-engaging onto that Ezreal. Rampage right now for the Jhin. Down goes the Caitlyn, down goes the Cho'Gath, and that Ezreal is trying again to save his team. He's going to take down that Xin Zhao, but unstoppable takes down the
That was a
Nami as
beautiful
well.
ultimate right there, and that just completely keeps Ezreal, at the back there, trying to defend, going to be the last hope there. He does have a Guardian Angel, but Na is just definitely going to jump at him, get him against the wall, pop the Guardian Angel, and this could very well just be the game right here, very quickly, without Ezreal even being able to go down.
There we have it then. Good game, well played for x25. The first win out of this best of 3. So, what are your
There's
thoughts
still a
on this
lot of
game?
work to be done. I just have to say, we saw how strong Ezreal is, and then we saw how strong Xin is. So we have these two strong, champions going head to head, and then even with a really strong Cho'Gath who's got a lot of HP, they still managed to siege us out. The teamwork's there. It was very well played. I have to say, I did not expect it to go exactly like that well, but they played a textbook. They played it perfectly. They took the advantage, got back into this, took an objective, backed off, got another advantage, took the objective, and they continued to repeat this until they won. So it was perfect gameplay from them.
Well, so far we've said Xin Zhao is either picked or banned, and Ezreal is either picked or banned for a reason. Right now, we saw that the teams left both open, and they decided to share. They're like, okay, you want to get one champion that's really good? We'll get the other champion that's really good. And so far, it's 1-0 for the team that has the Xin Zhao. So let's see. Right now, Emma is going to move on the red side. So let's see if they're going to opt to this time ban that Xin Zhao and maybe play against something different.
And that's the thing. What happened this game is like, Ezreal was strong. Ezreal's a strong pick. You normally want to ban him, but he just, took down a team with a really strong Ezreal. Like, it's not impossible. These champions, you can go like almost either way, but you can counter it and it can work in your favor. But now, the road isn't, well paved right yet. They're still going to play the next game now, and they kind of know what to expect with the aggression and how the tempo is going to work. So the pick and ban phase is going to be very crucial in this next one.
Very, very important. Exactly. And if you want the chance to play in these awesome qualifiers, there's only one more, unfortunately, left, which is tomorrow at 3 p.m. CD. So make sure you get your friends, you get your team, and you join exclamation mark qualifiers in the chat to get every information that you need. We are 1-0 up for X25 versus Emma, our big final of the day. This is a best of 3, so stay right where you are to see if X25 are going to take it clean sweep to an 0, or if Emma is going to come back from 1-0 to 1-2 to win it. So stay tuned and we'll be back in just a minute.